But I think we've got an overall plan with getting all 5 guys, and really 10 or 11 guys stretched out as starters to a point in camp where innings are going to become a little less available for guys outside the initial 5. So we'll get into that in due time.
I see that you've listed 3 starters on the same day, so as to throw us off the opening day starter sent.
Camouflage, it's a big thing. We also have a doubleheader, so it's a matter of getting a number of guys to the mound as early as you can.
What are you looking for specifically from that kind of second tier of starting pitchers beyond what's kind of expected to be a starting card?
Well, their readiness for the season based on the individual. Coming out of camp, ideally we get a pref order for that second tier of starters in the event someone is needed early in the season and who is most available, who's pitching the best at the time. So that would be somewhat of clearly a goal here in camp.
John, I know we talked a lot yesterday about Butter and his impact in terms of coaching fielding and being in the right place in bunt drills and whatnot. Today was base running. If you could address what he means to the detail of the running game.
Well, he brings the same approach to that aspect of our team, and that's attention to detail, looking for opportunities to take advantage of the situation. Today's drill is one to create an awareness of many different situations or scenarios, and it's a matter of kind of getting some of the cobwebs off after a long off season to some of the finer points and detail of the game.
With a lot of the new guys, is there any transition or getting used to the way Brian coaches third base, or is that part of it as well, or not?
Well, there's a little bit of a learning curve to know what his tendencies are at third base, how aggressive he'll be, the positioning in relation to the runner down the third base line towards home plate. That was the first interaction and introduction to that here today.
John, why don't you guys want to bring Quentin Berry back, and how could he potentially help you?
Well, he's got a definite skill, and that is the ability to steal a base. Even though he came over to us late in 2013, he was on the postseason roster throughout because of that ability. And talking with Quentin, a team that has the potential to contend is where he's a best fit for that very reason.
John, last year you weren't nearly as successful as a team you were facing, particularly in the first couple of months. You had been more aggressive in 13 with Mookie and maybe Ridley and some other guys who can run. How are you looking at team speed and willingness to take base, to steal bases here?
Sean, I think if you look back to the first half of last year, it's somewhat a reflection of the personnel. Jacoby being absent from here, who was as efficient and successful as anyone. Vic being injured. When Mookie came to us, Brock was in the lineup a little bit more. We saw our efficiency and success rate spike up. We would expect that to carry over with Mookie, with Brock, with Vic being back active. Hanley in his own right. Don't be, the body type might not suggest a base stealer, but you look at a guy who's got 13 to 17 base stealing capability. But it's an overall part of our approach towards taking advantage of situations and trying to create as much of a dynamic offense as possible.
How do you balance that aggressiveness without running into outs as you seemingly get more than you would like last year?
Well, again, it's...
I understand it was circumstances.
Yeah, I think our goal is always to be 80% successful. And I think at that point, you're going to be in the positive. Once you drop below that, then we've got to be a little bit more selective.
John,
Vic is a candidate. It's going to be dependent upon the opposing pitcher on a given day. Whether or not Rusney is a guy that evolves into that in time. I would say there are other guys ahead of him right now, but still, it's not going to be solely dependent upon speed. On base clearly is the primary driver there.
John, would you have any reservations about playing David in the field that first week of the season?
No reservations at all.
No.
No.